Hey, what's going on, guys? Winter here, and finally I am back to talk about JennaTheKawaiiBubblegumDoll2K7, or simply known as Jenna, is an American YouTuber and Beyonder with over 1.7 thousand subscribers. Her content is mainly evolved around Beyond, making videos of her OCs, shit posts and videos involving her friends, and as you can guess, she's not a good person as some can think. She has been involved in many different controversies, from milking scandals to even exploiting her own mother's death to excuse her actions.
Also, the reason why I've done so many bad things is because my mom passed away back in 2017.
Let's take a look at what she has recently did. Let's take a look at her recent drama with Maurice. Not much that I could find of what really happened between herself and Maurice, but if I were to take a guess, it would be that Maurice did something that people, including Jenna, did not like, and causing Jenna to go constantly after Maurice over what he did. She would have made countless videos on him just so her view count would increase, but it wasn't only just her that went after Maurice. A few people, including Annnnd, who actually made a video on not too long ago, would get involved with the controversy. Even Annnnd went as far to slander Maurice just because he disagreed with him. In Maurice's defense, both Jenna and Annnnd should have handled the situation properly. Jenna would then make an apology to Maurice on her community tab, but instead of saying how remorseful she is and making a whole paragraph of what she did, she would just make one paragraph and said she's sorry for milking Maurice's drama. That's it. No paragraphs or anything. Just only saying of what she did and not privately apologizing to Maurice. Pretty funny of thinking that she's sorry, but makes a very short and stupid apology. Now let's move on to the next thing of what she did. Jenna would act immaturely and cannot seem to handle situations very well. An example of this is when she would make videos of her quote-unquote regretting her actions, but would instead make countless excuses for why she did those things. These excuses would include because of stress, her being tormented all the time, and would even bring up her family losses. I'll say this here, I understand you went through a lot and I do feel sympathy for you, but you cannot excuse yourself for what you did and expect to think you'll just get away with this. You can't do that. Just because of what you went through doesn't mean you are above everyone else, and even if you think you can excuse yourself, it's still not okay, and make sure you won't bring excuses when you apologize. Be sympathetic and at least promise yourself you'll be careful what you're doing. Another example of her not handling situations well is when someone close to her closes their account. She would make a video in a dramatically and overreactive way, crying with their friends and planning a funeral of their channels. That is very unnecessary, and that's a stupid way to react someone over closing their channel. She could have announced it on her community tab, but instead makes a video wasting time and just crying. Again, very unnecessary and unprofessional. Let's move on to the next part. On her 17th birthday, Jenna posted on her community tab her quote-unquote sexy look. I'm even disgusted saying that, by the way. Keep in mind, Jenna turned 17 in March of this year, and the fact that out of everything, she really had the nerve to sexualize herself. The reason why she had to sexualize herself is beyond me, but it's a huge problem, however, because not only is she sexualizing herself, but it's the fact that you posted it publicly, meaning you'll attract predators and they'll comment very nasty things about you inappropriately. She should have known that because she's still a minor herself. Just because you are 17 doesn't mean you're all grown up now. You are still below the age of consent in many states by a year. You think you can do whatever you want, but you can't. You are a junior in high school. I'm in shock that anyone would do this, and what's your excuse? She saw someone doing the same thing and she was inspired to do it herself. What a terrible move she made herself. I hope she will never do this again. Even if you saw someone doing the same thing, you shouldn't be inspired by it. Otherwise, you'll embarrass yourself publicly and people won't like you. Let's move on to the last part. The last thing I want to talk about is her exploiting her mom's death for sympathy. Whenever she gets criticized for doing something wrong, Jenna would be all defensive and would play the victim card. Her main reason why she does these things is because of her mother passing away, which is the clip I showed you guys earlier in the beginning of this video. I have a question. Why would you ever excuse a loved one's death just to garnish sympathy from people? It's disappointing to hear that she would bring up her mother's death to excuse of what she did. First off, I'm sorry for your loss, but you shouldn't bring up her death to gain sympathy. It's wrong and it's disrespectful for the most part. And secondly, she should have been more aware of doing that because that can get you backlash as you are exploiting her death. I don't understand how she has time to make these videos and not sincerely own up of what she did. I just don't understand how and why. It's sad. It's saddening that barely anyone nowadays owns up of what they did instead of making excuses to not ruin their reputations. It should be said that Jenna is still going back to her old ways and isn't trying to improve herself and her behavior. She might as well continue to be like this for a while now. What's important is that she has to understand and think twice before doing these type of actions. I hope Jenna can take this video seriously and that she would change her own ways and stop making stupid decisions. Besides all that, that's gonna be all for this video. I am so sorry if I've been delaying this video since like September or some shit, but now it's finally here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Join my Discord server, the link is in the description below. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.